Hello and welcome to Utica TV Overtime. We're back to keep you up to date with everything that's going on with your Utica Pioneers. I'm your host, Andres Jaime Mendez.
And I'm your host, James Brown. Let's get right into the action from the past week and preview some games and events coming up.
The men's baseball team had a busy weekend facing off against Medaille University in a doubleheader Friday. Let's take a look at the highlights. In the first game, Utica brought in 19 runs in the first 3 innings. Brendan May leading 5 for 5, with a triple. John Sun brought in 2 hits as well. In the 5th inning, Utica gave Medaille 2 runs, but responded an inning later with 9 runs. Tyler Jennings adding 2 additional hits, and Joe Bautista adding another RBI. The first game ended in a score of 19-2 in favor of the Pioneers. Second game left no room for error in the Pioneers' winning track. Utica kicked off the game with 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning. May and Sun each served another 3 hits. The rest of the game was smooth for the Pioneers, scoring 3 runs in both the 4th and 6th inning. Jason Story, Micah Fiorello, and Joe Bautista each scored 2 RBIs in the game. The final score of the second doubleheader was again in favor of the Pioneers, 12-1. This placed the Pioneers' record at 12-2 in Empire 8 conference play.
On Saturday, the Utica baseball team played Medaille at home for their last game of this 3-game series. The men played a doubleheader the day before and won both games, looking to finish up the sweep. This day, however, was different, as it was the Pioneers' senior day. The Pioneers would celebrate 12 seniors and 2 graduate students. Utica was led by Antonio Martinez, as he had 3 hits and 2 RBIs. The men were also led by John Sun and Joe Crossley, as they each had 2 hits, while John had 3 RBIs. Starting pitcher James Rochla would pick up his 4th win on the season, as he allowed 3 runs in 6 innings pitched. Utica would strike first as the men scored 2 runs in the first inning off of an error from Medaille. Utica would give up a run in the second before adding 3 more runs to increase their lead out to 4. It would be a scoreless 2 innings until Medaille scored 2 runs in the 6th inning. Utica would respond in the bottom half of the 6th as Nathan Yance would walk in a run while Martinez would follow up with a 2 RBI single. With that, the Pioneers would increase their lead back up to 5. Medaille would not give up, though, as they would cut down the Utica lead to just 2. John Sun would come up big as he had 2 insurance runs in the bottom of the 8th. Closer Brendan May would come out and finish the job in the 9th inning as he secured the 10-6 victory for Utica. May became the all-time save leader in program history as well. Utica is now 22-9 on the year with this victory over Medaille.
Saturday was a busy day for your Utica Pioneers as we saw 3 senior day games. Let's start off with some women's lacrosse. The ladies faced off against Empire rival Alfred University and looked to get a win in their last home game of the season. Seniors Daniela Muscari, Megan Hurricane, Samantha DeCondo, and Delaney Dunham were all honored before this matchup. The Pioneers came out of the gate strong, scoring 4 unanswered runs, just minutes into the first quarter. Ending out the first, Utica led 7-3, and both Grace Stuhlman and Samantha DeCondo both sat at 2 goals each. Second was more the same for Utica as they outscored the Saxons 8-2, and it went into the half with a commanding 15-5 lead. DeCondo continued to show out on her senior day with a first half hat trick and an assist. Utica kept on rolling through the rest of the contest and eventually took it 21-9. This win brings the Pioneers out to 8-6 on the year and extends their win streak to 4. Stuhlman and DeCondo were the stars of this one, as Stuhlman finished with 6 goals and DeCondo finished with 5. With the Empire 8 playoffs right around the corner and Utica's playoff berth secured, this was a big win for the ladies on senior day.
Utica softball wrapped up their senior day weekend with a doubleheader against Medaille. With big playoff implications in this one, it was set for a must-win series for the Pioneers. Utica went down early, trailing 2-0 in the 3rd, but an RBI double from Emily Joss and a wild pitch allowed the Pioneers to tie it up at 2. The score would stay knotted at 2 until the 6th inning, where Utica had an offensive explosion. Cassidy Doran opened up the bottom half of the frame with a moonshot to right. A string of hits following gave the Pioneers a very comfortable 7-2 lead. They would hold this lead for 3 more outs, taking the first game of the twin billing. Game 2 was a pitcher's duel. Both Kylie Murray and Olivia Carr would have their best stuff in this one. Neither pitcher would allow a run in the game's first 6 innings. With the game still scoreless heading into the bottom of the 7th, Utica was looking to walk it off. A single and a pair of walks brought up Lauren Paul with the bases loaded and only 1 out. The 3-0 hitter did what she's been doing all year, and that is driving in runs. Lauren Paul's RBI infield single was all the Pioneers needed in the second game of this doubleheader. With the walk-off win, Utica swept the series and moved up to 5th in the Empire 8 standings, just barely hanging on in the playoff picture.
The Utica Pioneers women's golf team wrapped up their Northeast Conference Championship this past Sunday in Bloomfield, Connecticut. The women entered the day in 4th place after shooting a 374 on Saturday, 94 strokes over par. Carly Stefanini led the way in the second day of action, shooting a score of 90, 20 strokes over par, placing her in a tie for the 10th spot on the leaderboard. Riley Morris and Abby Ainsworth also found themselves placed within the top 20 on the leaderboard. Morris finished with a 91, placing her in 13th, and Ainsworth holed out at 92, placing her at 16th. The team finished the weekend with a total score of 748, which placed them in 10th of the conference. Congratulations to the ladies on yet another season, and best of luck next fall.
The men's tennis team has an opportunity to be the 4 seed and play in the Empire 8 Conference playoffs this Friday. Utica will clinch the 4 seed with a win versus Alfred on Tuesday. The Pioneers also will advance if Alfred wins 5-4 or 6-3. The only way the men could be eliminated is via an 8-1 or 9-0 loss to the Saxtons. The Pioneers took the first matchup versus Alfred earlier this year by a score of 7-2. Needless to say, the men will be looking to repeat that same result this Tuesday and secure themselves a spot in the playoffs. It looks like the Pioneers will be traveling to play the current number 1 seeded Houghton Highlanders. This match will be set for Friday, April 28th, so make sure to keep an eye out for the final score of that Alfred game this Tuesday to see if the men will be playing in the postseason.
After 2 road doubleheaders, the softball team will be back home this Saturday, April 29th, for their final matchup of the season in a doubleheader versus Alfred University. Saxons currently sit first in the conference with a stellar 9-1 record through conference play. This is a huge series for the Pioneers as they currently sit 5th in the 8 and are trying to secure themselves a spot in the Empire 8 playoffs. Come down to Greenman Field across campus this Saturday, April 29th, to support your Pioneers in their final games of the regular season. First pitch for Game 1 is set for 1 p.m., and Game 2 is slated for 3 p.m. And that's all the Utica sports that we have for you this semester. We want to thank you for a wonderful year. Special thanks to all of our Utica athletes and our fellow Utica TV crew who make the show possible.
Just because our show is coming to an end doesn't mean this is an end to the year, and sports games are still going on, so head over to the Utica Pioneers site for some more information. Also, be sure to follow us on Utica TV on Instagram at UticaUTV to see what Utica TV will be broadcasting your Utica athletics.
Thank you so much for watching us each week this semester. Have a wonderful summer, and always remember to
Fear the Moose.